Hello student, once again welcome to the series of revision of the chapter. Today we will discuss on identification of recombinants. Recombinants are those DNA, those plasmids or the DNA or the host cells which have foreign gene or foreign DNA. They are also known as transformant. So, how can we know that there are the recombinants host found in the colonies? So, normally we are using certain techniques to identify the recombinants. The most common one is selectable marker, that is called the marker gene. Use of selector marker gene is one of the integral part of the cloning vector, because whenever the selectable marker gene will be present in the host cell, it will express the traits or the feature for which they made up of. Second thing is, it is also based on the expression or non-expression of certain traits such as antibiotic resistant. For example, if we are using PBR 332, so PBR 332, this is the exact structure of the PBR 332, which is the most common plasmid, and you must know the basic structure of a PBR 332, and I think you are aware about that. Here you can see that this one is tetracycline resistant gene, and this is the region of ampicillin resistant gene. These two is used as a selectable marker. It means the presence of these gene provide resistance power to the host cells against tetracycline as well as ampicillin. These are the antibiotics. PBR 332 have two sets of antibiotics, that is resistant gene, therefore selection of a two-up step as the process. Now let us see how the identification recombinant is performed. Suppose this is the tetracycline resistant gene, and here you can see 1 2 3, there are some multiple cloning sites. It means these are the restriction sites. It means here we can make a cut and we can insert this foreign DNA. Now the question is, when the foreign gene or this insert takes place to the region of tetracycline resistant gene, so there is a two probability. Number one is this gene is properly linked to this region, or it is improperly linked to this region. To know this, now we can grow the bacterial colony by taking the replica method or replica plating technique. Here what happened, we use normally two kind of two kind of plates that contain the antibiotic tetracycline, and it is spread over the agarose gel. When the colony, here is the, we are taking the green one. Previously we are taking the two colony of the host cell. One is with the red and one is with the green one. It was evident that when the host cells which have tetracycline resistant insert can grow on the medium, whereas the other host cell which do not contain this tetracycline resistance gene in it, they cannot grow and it will be die. So here the gene which is the gene or the insert which is present in the host cell that provide tetracycline resistant power is used as transferment or recombinant, and the other one which do not have this tetracycline resistant gene is known as non-transferment or non-recombinant. Therefore, the bacterial cells or the host cells which have the resistance power like tetracycline or ampicillin, it can grow on the medium and it is further isolated from the colonies that do not bear that power of resistance. Another thing about nowadays, green fluorescent protein is work as a marker gene, and it is present in jellyfish as well as in the coral reef. These two organisms belongs to the phylum Coelenterata, and these marker gene express the bluish color or greenish to bluish color upon radiation with the ultraviolet, and it is used in the cells of embryo or the fetus, as well as it is used to see the particular type of protein present in embryonic cells or in the fetus cell. So the marker gene which is present in that coral reef or jellyfish is found in the form of GFP, that is green fluorescent proteins. Another technique to find out the recombinant is whether requirement of the nutrient media essential or non-essential. In the previous subtopics you have been studied that there are LEU2 gene which is present in the plasmid YEP, yeast plasmid. The yeast plasmid have multiple cloning sites. You can see in the picture given in your book. So LEU2, that is the leucine 2 gene, and this gene is responsible to produce amino acid required for the growth of cell. Actually this gene code for the amino acid leucine, when the yeast cell having these plasmid can grow on a medium lacking leucine. It means when the yeast cells are kept on the medium where leucine is absent, so due to the presence of LEU2 gene, it can synthesize amino acid leucine. So here it is used as a marker. It means those yeast cells which have LEU2 genes as considered as a marker or the recombinant, and those which do not have considered as non-transferment or non-recombinant. Such type of expression of a foreign protein are known as expression vector. It is also observed in the plasmid PUC19. Already you know the meaning of this PUC19. Now the next method to find out the recombinant is insertional inactivation. First, we must understand the meaning of insertional inactivation. Just come to the back here. You can see this here. This is the tetracycline resistant gene, and it has recognition site or restriction site like SAL first, WAM H first, HIN third. So if we are inserting here any alien DNA or foreign DNA, then what happened? The resistant power, that is the tetracycline resistance power, will be lost. It happened when the ligation takes place in very proper way. It is just like we can consider that a good swimmer, when his feet were tightly bound and he is thrown in the pond or the river, he cannot swim. Second example I can give, if in a cricket match the ball is in the air and a fielder want to catch, but the fielder hands is bound with the rope or something, it means the power which is present here is absent or inactivated due to the insertion of foreign gene. When we are putting here gene of interest here, so what happened? The power of tetracycline resistance will be lost. This is called insertional inactivation. Second example we can give you by, if you go through the PUC19. So PUC19, see have, this is the MCS, that is multiple cloning sites, and from this region you can see their origin of replication also, and here it is a LAC-Z gene. LAC-Z gene is responsible to make beta galactosidase enzyme, and these beta galactosidase enzyme produce blue color. What it done? It produced the blue color. So the cells which have this LAC-Z gene, they produce the bluish color colony. So here we are taking as a marker gene, but due to the insertion of a foreign gene to this region, what happened? The beta galactosidase enzymes will not show the chromogenic substrate. It means it will not form the chromogenic substrate, and therefore there is no blue color will be produced. So insertion activation, once again I am telling, when the fundamental function of a gene is cancelled upon addition of a foreign gene or a foreign DNA on its place. So there is a two case we can express by the blue white screening test. What happened here? Here you can see that white and blue colonies of the cells. This blue one is as a result of proper ligation. When proper ligation takes place, then what happened? Insertion activation takes place and no blue color will be formed. But due to improper ligation of DNA to the cloning site or the restriction site, there is no chromogenic substrate will be formed, so there will find the no blue color. So blue and white screening is due to the insertion activation of beta galactosidase enzyme, and these beta galactosidase enzyme express substrate, a colorless substrate called X-gal, which further converted into the blue color substrate. Now the question is why this X galactose gives blue color. It is because of the hydrolysis of the X galactose. When X galactose is hydrolyzed, it will give the blue color. So the colonies which appear white have the recombinant DNA and thus or the cells to be used for the further experiment. So till today that is sufficient. Thank you very much to be here with me.